Okay. Well, let's now segue. We're still at the Showcase House because there are so many spaces. I mean, when you go there, you definitely, by the way, you want to wear comfortable shoes, but you want to bring a notepad and a pen. You can't take pictures for the most part, but you can definitely take notes, and you're going to want to write down the notes because you're going to see the plants that you love. You're going to see, like he was talking about, the pink color, and you're going to want to jot down ideas and sketch things because someday you're going to go, okay, now what was that thing? What was John Jar talking about? Or how about my next guest, Steve Sandalis, who's all about bringing water to your world. How did he do that? How did he put a stream in this backyard? Steve, great having you here with Mystic Water Gardens.
Hi, how are you?
Good. And how'd your son do, by the way?
Oh, we are still in the baseball game, so if you hear some screaming in the background, you know what's going on.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach, for taking a time out for us. And I know your passion for water because it really all started as a young boy. I guess you grew up with a stream running through your home or nearby, and you love that sound, and you now bring it to our world.
Yeah, that is correct. As a young child, growing up in New York, we would always go upstate. We'd do a lot of hiking and camping, and when I was a little older, I actually bought a house, and I used to have a stream in the yard.
Wow.
So I was always diverting it, adding rocks to it, adding driftwood, landscaping it. And I moved out here to California and really wanted that stream, so I recreated it in a yard out here, and then just word of mouth. All of my friends who came over wanted one in their yard, and my career kind of found me.
Yeah.
It's a great way to be creative and make a living, and I just love anything to do with water.
And to make people so happy, because it really does change lives, you know. I think that people feel like they're going to, well, not only do they feel, they suddenly spend more time outside.
It's true, and especially nowadays, everybody's so stressed out and uptight and worried, and it's really nice to have a little oasis to come home to and spend time with your family and just relax near the water. It's very, very tranquil to have moving water in the yard. Yeah.
Well, so earlier in the show, we were talking with your colleague who worked on the same space, which is at the back, kind of the back on the side of this Pasadena Showcase House, a very English Paul Williams designed home. And Damon Morey was talking about your stream crossing garden area, about how this really was kind of a nothing hill. It was kind of just left there, and now it truly is a destination. So when you saw it coming from a water perspective, what went through your mind? You thought, hey, this has got to have a stream, or what did you think?
You know, when we saw the location, my mouth started to water.
Oh,
I mean,
you're all about water.
You like that?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was actually the most inspirational location on the property because it was a transition point between the house and the barn. There was a little walkway there, but nobody was using the area, and it's nestled among these beautiful mature oak trees. There's actually a seasonal little stream that runs through there, and I just knew with Damon's expertise with the landscaping and myself creating a water element, it was going to be the hit of the show. And we've received a lot of comments from people who really enjoy the space, and it's been a lot of fun this year.
All right, well, don't go away because, Steve, we want to learn more from you in terms of how to seize what might be wasted space in your yard, and how do you bring water to it? Is it a stream? Is it a pond? Is it something smaller? Can you do it? Of course you can. We're going to learn about that magic, and you're going to want to see it to believe it, too, at the Pasadena Showcase House. Email me, would you, at cindydole.com. The fun continues. Home Wizards, as we celebrate moms in between our commercial breaks. We're back after this.
In my daughter's eyes.
My love is so true.
I think this guy not only lives on water, he just has water everywhere. Steve Sandalis, I mean, he grew up with water, walking on water, playing with the direction of a stream in his childhood home, and now he is making that water magic come to life with his Mystic Water Gardens, and you can see it and to believe it at the Pasadena Showcase House, which is open for tours today through a week from tomorrow. And so, Steve, so good to have you here with us today.
Well, thank you, and I just want to report we just won the ball game in the last inning.
Oh, good. What's the name of the team?
We are the Astros of Encino, California.
Oh, good. Go get them, Astros. Congrats. It sounds like pizza's in the making tonight, then.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Steve. So give people a sense of this hillside backyard of this beautiful English home, 1920s home, and it was really just kind of wasted space. And so was there a possible stream there already, or you had to make a new stream?
Well, there's actually it's a dry creek that runs throughout the rainy season here. So there is a water element, but probably 10 months out of the year it's dry. So nestled under the oak trees, I just knew to have running water in that space was really going to be a magical environment. So, between the trees, the transition point between the house and the stables, it just seemed like the perfect location to build a water feature.
Very serene. So did you added more with the pump and the water and all that to really amp it up? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what we did was we built one ourselves, and it nestled among the one that runs throughout the rainy season. So we actually built one, and then there's been an existing one.
Nice. So it looks like it was always there, which is really what the goal is here, right?
Exactly.
You don't want it to look like Disneyland.
Right. Understated is better than overstated when it comes to water features in the garden, especially residential.
So if someone came to you and said, Steve, I want a stream somewhere on my property, front yard, backyard, side yard, what would you say are some of the, requirements for that home to really pull it off?
Well, for stream, you definitely want a little elevation change, a little grade change. So if someone wanted a stream, you would want an elevation change of approximately maybe 6 inches per 10 feet. Because the way the system runs, it's gravity fed. So the pump will push the water to the top of the stream, and then gravity brings the water down. So you always want the stream to flow down. It's basically pretty simple. So for streams, you want to grade, but yet for a pond, you want level ground, because it's almost explained to my clients. It's like a soup bowl. A pond is like a soup bowl. If the bowl is tilted, the water is going to spill out. So for ponds, you want a level ground. Stream, you want a slight grade. And then for a waterfall, what we love about California is we have a lot of hilly terrain, so we could really create some drama coming off the hills with beautiful waterfalls.
And I love how you incorporate a lot of these boulders, whether they were already there or you add more to the space. So again, it just looks like Mother Nature did this.
And regarding the boulders, we have a saying amongst the crew, bigger is better. With rock and boulders, we always want to dig them partially in the ground.
I bet.
It really gives a natural look. And once it's built, a lot of people go wrong building water features is they'll use a lot of smaller rock and a lot of similar size rock. We like to vary the shapes and sizes, and definitely we love to incorporate bigger material, which often requires machinery, small bobcats and excavators and whatnot.
Oh, boy. Tools. Sounds great.
Oh, yeah. Big boys, we like to use the big rock and the big machinery.
The big tools. And so I'm guessing a lot of people might be thinking, okay, what about the maintenance of a stream? Because we have a koi pond. And in the koi pond, I mean, just today I saw our koi nibbling away at what would be the makings of the algae. And, of course, it has the filter and it all kind of works with nature. How does the stream take care of itself without having koi to eat some of the stuff?
Well, interestingly enough, there's a couple ways we can go about creating a water feature to have it low maintenance. Now, if someone wanted a stream, we could actually build a water feature where we have the stream and the water then dissolves basically into a tank under the ground. And we call that a pondless stream or a pondless waterfall. And by building a feature like that, when you turn it off, all of the water will filter into this tank under the ground, and then we let Mother Nature do her job with the algae. So on a hot summer day, if you turned your feature off, all the water drains, and then the sun would bake any algae that's on the rocks, and then you simply pick it off and you turn it on the next day, and voila, she's clean.
Great. And then you probably put some kind of some good algae or some kind of good bacteria in there for... Yeah.
Now, with the streams, when you have a body of water, when you have a pond, that's when you want to start creating an ecosystem by adding plants. Periodically, we add good bacteria and enzymes to the water because there's actually products that will actually eat any sludge that develops on the bottom of the pond.
Oh, I know we have it. It's amazing
Yeah.
how it works. It just you can't believe it. Now, do
And
you
also
go ahead? I'm sorry.
Plants are actually a big element with keeping a water feature clean also.
Yeah.
In the hot environments like here in California, we want to shade the pond with beautiful lilies and floating plants because it actually keeps the water cool, and you want the water to be constant, the temperature, because if the water heats up during the day and then cools down at night, that's when you're going to create an algae bloom. So if you shade the pond with the pond plants, it's going to help with the maintenance.
Now, you're working with a kind of a shady area, which is working to your advantage, right?
Yes.
And in a stream, did you position some water or aquatic plants and kind of use a fish wire or something and nail it to the rocket to the bottom so it's giving the illusion of some things that are living in the stream?
Well, actually, the aquatic plants, there's many aquatic plants that don't need to live in a lot of water. So when we build streams and waterfalls, we actually create little cracks and crevices in between the rock, and then we plant our aquatic plants right into the pockets, and then the plants thrive and do very well planted in shallow stream water.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love aquatic plants. There's so many. I mean, have you ever seen the night blooming lily?
Yes. And you know what I tell all my clients about the aquatic plants?
What?
You can't kill them because they don't need water.
but
Usually people look at me when I say that, but
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, when the day job, dries up, you got the comedy thing going.
Comedy routine, sure.
But seriously, I mean, there's so many of these beautiful aquatic plants, and whether it's a stream, like you're talking about the little nooks and crannies, or what about a pond? I mean, what would be, let's say if someone comes, they're going to visit your beautiful, your little stream crossing at the back of the Showcase House, and they're going to go, gosh, I'm not sure if I have the area for a stream, but I'd love to have maybe a little pond. What would be some of the parameters for someone interested in that? What would you say would be some of the must-haves?
Well, I think that the first thing with a pond is the client should determine if they want fish, because that's going to really determine how big and how deep we want the pond. But a lot of people, they'll see a display we do at a show or at a nursery, and they'll kind of get a little overwhelmed by size. I mean, really, to do a water feature, you really need a size maybe 4x4. You could really do something cute and quaint in a little 4x4 area. That's really all you need. We do huge lakes and ponds, and then we also do little small water features where we'll have like a bubbling boulder, like a cord boulder, and just a little water coming out to create a little bird bath for the birds and hummingbirds, and just the sound of water in the garden is really magical.
4x4, I mean, that's so doable, I think.
It is. I mean, we actually build a lot of features for people that own condos and just have a tiny little yard. Build quite a few of them. So if you have a 4x4 area, you could really build something really nice for the garden.
And then for those who really want to go hog wild, the lake, are you still doing a lot of lakes for people, really?
Yes. Here in California, especially in the Malibu area, there are a lot of people that have ranches and big properties, and we have built quite a few lakes. We actually built a private trout pond for someone in Malibu, and we built a 13-foot deep little lake, and he built a little cottage on the edge of the lake there, and he fishes and he watches the football game, and it's quite the environment. I'm very envious.
I hope you were invited to take a swim a little bit. Yeah?
I do a lot of maintenance visits for that gentleman.
I bet.
I tend to not charge him. I like to hang out near the lake and do a little fishing.
Well, tell everybody your website so people can see more of the beautiful works that you've done, and of course they can see at the Showcase House. But what's your website? Sure.
My website is mysticwatergardens.com, and it's Mystic with a Y.
Okay.
MYSTIC, mysticwatergardens.com.
You got it. Steve, fun talking to you. We'll see you at the Showcase House. And remember to check out my website and email me to get tickets to go see Steve and his stream crossing. You have until a week from tomorrow to go, but you got to email me this weekend at cindydole.com, all right? All right, well, coming up next, as we say, we love you, Mom. We're going to take a quick break and come back about cleaning. And moms don't have to clean this weekend, but for the rest of us who are helping out, what about cleaning with non-chemical products? How do you know it really is chemical-free, and how do you make sure that you're helping the environment while you're keeping all that dirt away, right? Home wizard Cindy Dole, and we're back after this.